We're having a lot of fun tonight, and it's hard to forget that there's still a pandemic going on out there. I know I didn't want to bring it up, but I keep reading these articles about how there are these, two different Americas now, how some people spent all their time pre-COVID on the road, never had time for their families, and now they're cooking dinner together. They've never had a better work life. And you hear these other stories about people working such late hours on the road. They're concerned about their loved ones. They're vulnerable. But I still haven't heard about one group of people that I'm really concerned about. And that's the people that make their living robbing gas stations. Because for an entire, industry that was made up of putting a mask on and going into a convenience store, they really had it rough for a couple of years, but you gotta think they're thriving now. Maybe this is not a popular career path anymore. When I was growing up in the 90s, I remember it was on the news every night. Now, I may misremember the 90s. I was just a little kid watching my parents have sex. So, my parents are also here tonight. Everybody give them And so the reason I bring up the gas station, people holding up gas stations, is I had this interesting experience in the early days of COVID. I had to go to the bank on a Friday to get some money out, and since my bank's from the 1800s, they don't have an ATM. So I was already running late for work. I was honestly hungover from having drank a lot of whiskey on a Thursday night. I was actually here at the Cassisi's house on that Thursday night drinking whiskey. Everybody knows the Cassisi's, right? Everybody give them a big round of applause. Thanks so much for that. Now, if you're saying Thursday night whiskey, Cassisi's, that doesn't add up. They weren't here. I had broken in through the upstairs window. But the point is, I needed to go into the bank and get cash, and I didn't have a mask. I looked all through the car, and it was the early days of COVID. You couldn't go in without one. All I could find was a pair of my wife's pantyhose. And now I know that would look silly, but I thought it's okay. I'll just run in really fast so nobody sees me. I'll be very short and curt and direct with the teller, and then I'll run out. No big deal. It was cold outside, so I didn't even take my hand out of my pocket when I pointed to her and I said, "Give me the money!" And get this, she fainted. I know, rude, right? Before I could tell her out of my savings and not my checking. And that's what I told the arresting officer too, but he just